because of the consistency. We said that every other Wednesday, we're going to meet and hold each other accountable to living an overall better lifestyle. That's health, wealth, wellness, spirituality, mentality. That's everything. And I know it's a lot, but if we can do everything else that we always do, then we definitely can take the time to take care of ourselves. It's critical. We do a lot. So if you are just joining us, make sure you mark your calendars every other Wednesday as part of our Women's Online Networking membership group, which we're going to be announcing how you can join in the next few days, because we're going to be looking for leaders all over the United States. Networking is coming back in a big way, and we want to make sure we're in that number. But again, as we take on even something else, we'll be looking for leaders all over. Y'all know I hate to hear myself. I hate it. It's okay. I just hate her. Talking, I'm like, oh my God, hush. Everybody hate their own voice, I think. But we're going to be looking for leaders all over the country. So one of the things I had committed to do, I definitely want to get us a journal, create us a journal, Stephanie. I said it last time, but you got to remind me, because I believe in writing things down. And that's important. So Ms. Berlin is our sponsor tonight. Ms. Berlin, I have some stuff on my agenda, but I'll definitely defer to you for what you want to talk about this evening. You're on mute.
I didn't want you to, I was trying to share, but them nerves kicked in and you didn't like your voice, but I think your voice is phenomenal. It reaches the masses, and I'm grateful that I heard it, even though I was resistant. I'm going to go there from the very beginning, because we have to show grace and gratitude with everything. When I first heard that voice that you just said that you didn't like, guess what? I didn't like it either. And then the next day, I heard that voice again. And I was like, who is she hollering and screaming at me through my phone? But it was something about it. That third day, you were there again at the same time. And I've been here ever since. Little did I know you had what I needed. You had what I was praying for. You had what I was fighting me against me. And I'm grateful for that voice.
Oh,
whenever I hear it.
Thank you, love.
But I'd like to say good evening to this beautiful panel and the guests that's listening in Zoom and on Facebook and on Coach's other platform. I'm grateful to be here this evening. Coach, I thank you for yet another opportunity. I'll never take it for granted. I thank you for the opportunity, but when Stephanie asked me, what do you want to talk about? What I would like to talk about is finding your no and saying yes to you. That's a hard thing. That's a difficult thing. And I bet you right now, the women that are sitting under the sound of my voice, about 90% of them can say they don't have their no.
Well, let's talk about that, because it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds real good, but then who gonna clean up?
Mm-hmm.
Then who gonna cook? Who gonna food with them children? I mean, today was the first day, literally, and I was on the phone with Shanaja when it happened, that I realized that I'm years overdue in getting the level of help that I need. Years. I'm talking about in the business, in my house, because when it's just you, and the children say they're hungry, how do you say no to that?
Right. You can say no. I didn't know. Mine are 32 and 36. It took me a long time to find my no. But see, you find your no when you get to your end, when you feel like you at the end.
So let's talk about, because I want this to be more than conversation. I want it to be resolution based.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about some ways you can find your no. With my kids, I've come up with like an exchange system. You want something from me? I need something for you. So Tyler, you need something for me? I need you to run these errands and drop A, B, and C off at the house. He's even got so he knows, what you need me to do. Straighten up your office for you. What you need me to do, because I know I need something. So what can I do in exchange? Because what that does is, even though they're taking something from me, they're also giving something back. And you can start that with your kids at any age.
Yes.
Because I've been having my kids working this brand since I started writing books. They had to pack the car, they had to count the books, they had to do the inventory, they had to set up. Before y'all was setting up expos, guess who was the master at setting up expos? Hope and Faith. Baby, they knew how to set up the backdrops, they knew how to set up the table, all them books, they packed everything in and out, baby. I carried my shoes in my purse. Hello? So I think we don't trust our children to help us enough. And I know that when my kids got like 16, I stopped cleaning their rooms. I stopped washing their clothes. So sometimes you say no with your actions. You ain't got to verbalize. I found that when I was verbalizing a no, it was a yes. But when I just didn't say nothing, that's when they knew they was going to have a problem. So anybody in the audience, you're welcome to chime in. Raise your hand if you want to come in and make a comment. But, it's hard. As women, I find myself, I put my kids first. I put Troy first. I used to put my mom first. And I think it was me and Shanedra, you can weigh in too, that was having this conversation that the men don't look at us the same way we look at them. Shanedra?
I mean, they definitely don't. And I think for me, like, I'm in a position in my life where everything is refocused, right? Every single thing about my life right now is refocused. So with me having a 4-year-old, me having aging grandparents, me having just this whole book of things and building a business, it's like, where do you start? Where do you start with the reprioritization? You know what I mean? And I get stuck a lot. I mean, there are times where I get totally wrapped up in my grandparents, totally wrapped up in my son. And at the end of the day, I look, I'm like, oh my God, you supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And you've been chasing these, you left at 9 o'clock, it's 4 p.m. You just getting back and you haven't done anything. Now, and I can't, ask Johnny to do X, Y, and Z because that just doesn't fit in his makeup. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that he wouldn't do it, but I'm like, no, I have to get it done. I got to get over there. I got to go get these bills paid. I got to get these clothes lined out. I got to make sure we got groceries. And it gets tough. It gets really tough. And when I was talking to Coach about this situation, I was looking at everything that she had on. I was like, Coach, you have the resources to get the help that you need, that people pray for. People wish they could have somebody come in and organize, or come in and they have loyal people they trust to help them with their business. Like, you have the things that people actually pray for, and you deserve it. Like, you worked so hard for all this time, helping all these women. Like, it's your time. It's your time to get back your freedom. It's your time to get back your time just to do what you want to do. Like, you shouldn't be all day from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. worrying about these minute tasks. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So one thing I can tell you, and that's why I'm going to work on a journal for us this week. And we'll give it out free when the people join one at a paid level, or whoever's in one, we'll give it out free. But every week I got to make a promise to myself. And I've got to write it down right next to my business goals. So if any of y'all have seen the goals on my wall, you'll see that the business goals are huge, but you'll see a big old sign next to it that's just as big about my personal goals. And if you don't put your personal goals right up there with your business goals, what you're going to find is that your personal goals are going to get swept under the rug. So I'm gonna start with health, if that's okay, Ms. Verlin.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Sure, Coach.
Because we was talking about this. When we come here every other Wednesday, this is your opportunity to reset. Somebody type reset in the chat. I don't care whether it's your money that's not going right, whether it's your health that's not going right, your business that's not going right. Whatever is not going right, this is, if you're not sleeping well, this is the place we come to every 2 weeks to reset. And why that's critical is that if we don't reset, we'll just keep running for months and be off kilter. No, we're off kilter and not stop. You know, it's times I know that my brain is literally cracking and I keep going because I don't have a place like this. So before we joined, Shanidra, like, we was having this whole private conversation about eating right and losing weight. And Shanidra like, well, Coach, you've been doing good, but it's still not a habit. So I got to reset. So we're going to go around and talk about one thing you know you need to do differently. You guys who are here, you can put it in the chat. If it pertains to you, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. So me, I was telling Shanidra, I need to eat more complex carbohydrates. I was reading this study that said people that eat at least a cup of beans a day tend to add 4 years to their lifespan. Have y'all ever heard what's called blue zones? Blue zones on the map are areas where people tend to live way longer. Okay. Excuse me. Asia has a lot of blue zones. And so I'm going to show you because I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. So blue zones are what they consider to be longevity hotspots. These are areas of the world where people live way longer than everybody else. Okinawa, Japan, Icaria, Greece, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Loma Linda, California. And what they say, what do? They eat differently. They have a positive outlook. They have a positive support system. Who would have thunk that having a positive support system would help you live longer? And they walk a lot. They move naturally. They don't exercise. They said these individuals are healthy and vital into their 90s and even past their 100th birthday. Anybody want to live longer? Say me in the chat. So they were talking about some of the ways that they eat in the blue zone. And they said they eat more wild caught fish and that they eat more complex carbohydrates like beans. And so they said just a cup of beans a day will help you add 4 years to your lifespan. And so I said, OMG, I actually love beans. Do y'all like beans? Stephanie, do you like beans? I thought you did. You eat country, huh?
I do. So I love them any way I can get them.
Me too. And I said it's a shame.
Yes.
I love pintos, butters, navies, northerns. I love so many kind of beans. It's a shame I don't eat them more. Look, let's tell you something. I love pork and beans, chili beans.
Lima.
I love lentils, black eye. I love, there's not, even in my adulthood, I like limas. Couldn't stand a lima, but the older I get, the better I like some old lima bean. You know, I don't just hate it. It's some vegetables I hate. You know, but I could put up with an old piece of lima with a few kernels of corn in it. You got to doctor it up. But why don't we eat? So that's my commitment, is to eat more beans. Let me say that. More beans and more wild caught fish. I'm through. Let me let me pass it to somebody else.
Okay, I'm ready. I have to get back, like, so I do this every year, like for the whole month of June, like I typically give up pretty much all carbs. Like I'm super strict. Like, you know, it's pretty much like meat and greens, all water, not even no diet soda. I may have like a green tea. And I did it like all the way up until my birthday. And just within 3 weeks, like I was just so alert and I had like so much energy and I was just like knocking stuff off. But like after my birthday kind of went down, 4th of July, I didn't just go off the bandwagon hard, but I did start it, you know, snacking and kind of doing that. So for me, no snacks. Chips gotta go.
Don't
like
say no.
Literally before we came on here, I was eating this.
So don't say no snacks, and let me tell you why. And now I know y'all like, now here we're gonna listen to weight loss advice from the fattest girl here, but I know what I know, okay? I might not use it all, but I know what I know. From a manifestation point of view, when you say no snacks, all the universe hears is snacks. So every time you look up, it's gonna be harder and harder to. So say healthy snacks. Keep your fruit cut. Keep your veggie crisp. Keep your carrots and celery, whatever you like. Mm-hmm. Nuts are on the list of things that help you live longer. Get the pre-measured packs, because if not, you'll eat a can of cashews. I know I'll wet them nuts. I look up, girl, and fingers be scraping the bottom. So nuts are on the list of healthy snacks. Fat-free dairy items like string cheese. That's on the, and we're women, so we definitely need the dairy. So nuts, fat-free dairy, vegetables. I don't know who made fruits the bad guy, but it ain't no fruit out there worse than a damn candy bar, okay? So my fruits can run your sugar up. There is no fruit out there worse than this processed, chemical Snickers and Twix and Oreos that we eat. Mm-hmm. So I found, if I could find me a good piece of watermelon, because I found some watermelon last week that was on point. What else did I find? I found some good pears, some good apples, good oranges. So now we just in this pursuit of good fruit.
Oh yeah.
And if I could find me a good piece of fruit, I don't have a sweet tooth. So don't say no snacks, say
healthy snacks. Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Who's next?
Well, I want a little different. I think I'm moving more into showing myself a little more grace in this season, and also forgiving myself, because sometimes we can't say no to a lot of things, and then we regret not saying no to people, to things, to even our children, spouses, whomever, work. I mean, you name it. And so just giving myself in this transition period that grace that I need, and to go ahead and forgive myself for wasting time, for not shifting what I should have.
So
I
let's
mean,
talk
just,
about that.
I can keep going and going. Coach, don't you say anything.
No, let me say this. Because you're beating yourself up, you say, for wasting time. But I keep telling you, this is perfect timing. So who says you wasted time? See, even in saying I'm gonna give myself grace, you taking the doggone grace away, and I can't let you do that. You were in a holding pattern because your situation was what your situation was. And you had to do what you had to do. God's timing is always just right. So if you couldn't have done anything differently, and I don't see anything you could have done differently. So you said for not moving when I could have moved when, for not doing what? It's all aligning right now, almost like a full moon. So I'm not gonna let you say I'm not gonna beat myself up and then beat yourself up with the same stick you say you ain't gonna beat. You know, I used to do myself like this, y'all. I used to beat myself up. We don't need an example of. So yes, definitely giving myself, giving everybody more grace. True story. Miss Verlin?
Yeah, that forgiving myself, Stephanie, is huge. Mine is I finally made my mind up to take my me time. But in taking my me time, I kind of set everything else aside. And the things that I set aside, the things that I really need, like working harder in my business, like being more consistent about building, about paying more attention to the areas in my business where I really needed it. No, I was taking my me time, but I needed to take quality me time. And that's what got me. I learned to take my me time, but I didn't learn how to implement, okay, today I will be consistent in doing this. And I must do this every day, no matter what come or high water. I gotta do this. This right here can wait. I'll get to her when I get to her. I'll get to this. I didn't include that. I was taking my me time, and that was it. And everything else was just laying around. But when I realized that, you're talking about extending yourself some grace. All I wanted was freedom here. Just for that little bit of time. And when I learned to get it, okay, I got it, what I do now. Because I laid everything else down.
You know, Berlin, sometimes you have to though.
Yeah.
Listen, so and I went through that same thing. Like, let's talk about the difference between quality me time and getting to that point you're so overwhelmed you gotta sit everything down. There's a difference.
Yeah.
If we don't bend, we break. Some of y'all need to write that down.
Mm.
If we don't bend, we break. So we were doing the marketing calendar for the year earlier, and Rose said when we got to December 19th, Rose was like, when you taking off? I said, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm finna look at August and see, can I get some days in? You're absolutely right. So if we go so far and so hard, we get to that point, Berlin, that we don't have any choice but to sit it down. But how do we keep from being there is the consistency. Don't wait until the 11th hour to try to do it all. Miss Burdell wanted to speak. She has her hand raised. Anybody else? If you want to speak, definitely raise your hand. Hi, welcome to the stage, Miss Burdell. You wanted to contribute? Thank you for being active in the chat. Hello, Miss Burdell. We can hear you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be so busy. It's almost like I'm in church, you know? I got nobody to talk to, so I have to talk to you guys, right?
That's fine. We don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I like what you guys are saying because I'm thinking about the me time And also, I need to have more fun. You know, put that little girl and have that little girl to play some more. And I like what you do, coach, because whenever you come on board, you always make us laugh and you always have some story to tell us. And that's very good because I mean, for me, I take things too serious and not have enough time to be playing or laughing. And I think I need to bring more of that into my work area.
And we
Yeah.
can do it too. What we'll do, Stephanie, is let's talk about that. How we do 1 hour here and then 1 hour over there. But you know what, Miss Burdell, you just gave me $1 million idea. So
Ooh.
for one, why don't we, instead of doing all these just powerhouse networking events, which get boring after a while, why don't we do a networking event this month and a girls' night out the next month? Let's
Woo!
all put it on the calendar and plan it. I'm not gonna go anywhere. And I think it's a
Wow.
whole, I think we find wine tastings, and I'm not talking about you can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. I don't know what you need, but you get in love, you got to take a sex. I'm talking about making love. Do it, Stephanie. Do it, Stephanie. Do the Tiffany Haddish. So I'm not talking about that, but how many of us, if like, when's the last time, like when we came and did karaoke, if I tell you, and I don't want to cry, but when Miss Berlin and Chiquita walked in that place, I wanted to lay in the floor. If I tell you how much damn fun, I don't even think I had but like a drink and a half. The woman was walking around giving out free drinks. They was horrible. And I think I might have had a glass of champagne or something. But you talk about somebody laughed so hard, my head, my side, by the time we left, my feet hurt, my back. Oh my God, we laughed so hard, baby, from them Tina Turners on the stage to them Erykah Badu's on the stage. You talking about somebody that had so much fun. When Lori and Vicky and Ava and Alicia was here in Houston, we laughed so hard every day that literally my face hurt. If we don't deliver out of the house, we won't. And that getting out of the house is more movement. We need to get out and go to some dance, some step classes. We need to make one interactive. I think if we add that fun factor to one and help these women get out of the house and have some fun, you're not gonna be able to beat it. So, Miss Burdell, you just said something to me, imperative, where we don't really have anybody to go hang out with. So let's mix business with pleasure. And I think the women will really come. I don't know about you guys. Definitely tell me in the chat if that sounds like something that is exciting to you. And would you even host a women's night out? Like, it doesn't even have to be that difficult. A lot of times when you meet people under the pretense of fun, it evolves into a business relationship quicker than when you meet them under the pretext of business. But there's so many things to do indoors and outdoors, free events that you want to go to and you ain't got nobody to go with. You be like, oh man, this looks like fun. I really don't want to go with my man. Definitely don't want to go with Spartacus, which is what Shanidra's son calls himself and everybody else. And so you don't want to go with your children. So where are your girlfriends? So say me in the chat if that sounds like something that you would even be interested in. Because, as I got older, I always say, where's the 40-something party? And I don't need it to be hype and crunk, but I do need it to be fun. Game night, playing cards, maybe even float through some cigar bars. I don't know. I just think it can be different. I know Miss Burdell ain't the only one that sounds like that. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. And I think for me, especially since COVID, since like I was like on super lockdown, like for COVID, like I literally just started going to restaurants like within the last 6 weeks. Like I hadn't been anywhere. And for me, I'm like, it's time. It's time to kind of get back out there, start getting yourself together. Because I just be in the house looking like Coach say, Busta Rhymes, just just in my element. But yeah, it even felt good though. Like when the ladies were here, like Coach mentioned, it was really good to see them. And I think for me, like I had never met any of them before, and it's just a whole different vibe.
It's a whole different person
when you get in a room with them. It really
It
is.
is. It is to meet Ava, to meet Lori, to meet Vicky. I mean, and I mean, it was just crazy good.
It was.
Like, huh?
I missed that, how we used to get together. Seemed like every 4 to 6 weeks we was going to Texas, but we was going to Atlanta.
Yeah, because I know I said today we're gonna do my birthday, but I'm thinking, can we do something before the birthday? November is a long time, but if we put our heads down and do our work, it'll come fast. But we still got them expos we got to plan, so let's talk about that, and maybe we can have some girls' nights out for that. But yeah, girls just want to have fun, so that's a great addition, Miss Burdell. The last one I want to add is number 9. Is I got to get some more movement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say exercise, but I'm gonna say this desk, I can't do it. I got to get up and move some more. I gotta find my water aerobics. I gotta find a yoga class. Just the action of getting up, getting dressed, and leaving the house. Because I got to the point that I do everything, ding, 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 everything's coming to the door. So you miss that 30, 45 minutes walking around the grocery store. You miss that, hour walking around the mall. You miss that. I've got to get more active.
And when you do, you feel better. Like you said, earlier when we were talking, we mentioned the gym about, I don't go to the gym, but I will go in the grocery store, Max does, and I will walk. And sometimes I go around, I go up one aisle and down the other, and that's my exercise. Or I'll go in, there's a Ross right here near me. I'll walk over to Ross and I'll walk around in there for about an hour. And that has aided into what's going on with me now. And I'm glad about it because it's not strenuous. Mm-hmm. It's something I can do. It's something where if I'm tired of walking the mall, I can go out and get in the car and sit down, turn the air conditioner on, get it together, and then go back and walk another 30 minutes. So I don't think it has to be anything really, really strenuous. Yesterday, I did get me some little 3-pound weights right there at 5 and below. And I can just sit and work my arms because this is really the problem. But just the movement, like you said, everything what you say this morning, what moves tend to continue to move? Things in motion to stay in motion. Things at rest tend to stay at rest. Yeah. So I've been at rest for a long time. It's time for me to get in motion. Yeah. Hey, Eureka.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah. We can.
Hey, everybody. I have some background noise, so I'm going to apologize, so I'm going to go real quick. Yes, I can agree with the getting emotional. A lot of times we make it harder on ourselves, and it's really not that hard. One of the things that work for me is I do 10-minute Tae Bo when I'm actually active and working out and working on my shape and things like that. Tae Bo, Billy Blanks, he's still good, 8 to 10 minutes. I said, I'm only good for 8 to 10 minutes. Don't call me after that because I ain't no good after that, okay? But, it's something that you can do at home at your own pace, whether you do it in the morning or do it at night. When you really want to start working, you can do it at the morning and the night. And what I noticed is just doing 5 to 7 days of Tae Bo, you'll see the change in your legs, you see the change in your arms, like you see the change within 1 week if you're actively just doing that 8 to 10 minutes a day. And most people think it takes 30 minutes or a whole hour to work out. It really don't take all that. It doesn't take all that. A doctor, there was a neurologist, a doctor that came to our church one time, and he said, if you get your heart moving for 8 minutes a day, every day, then you're doing a good thing just by doing that. And that 8 to 10 minutes typo is really good as well. So I just wanted to share that with the ladies. I know that we get busy and sometimes it's hard because when you're not moving, like Coach just said, your legs get stiff. You get up in the morning, you're like, man, why my legs so stiff? Why I can't move, man. It seems harder to get up and do the day-to-day activities because you're just not putting your body to work like it should be. And so I definitely agree with that. And so with that, thank you guys for the information that you've shared, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Rika. That's excellent. Small workouts. And I'm going to actually circulate these notes. Stephanie, I think we should start keeping up and maybe even putting a blog along with a copy of the recording on the website. And because I think every woman needs a bi-weekly reset, So here's the homework. Pick 3 things. I'm going to recap what I always said. Y'all let me know if I missed anything. But pick 3 things. So we said wild caught fish and beans, more activity, high protein, more water, healthy snacks, quality time off, more fun, move more. I put small weights, small workouts. That's the 11 things I have. Did we miss anything? And give yourself grace. I didn't put a number next to it, but that's 12. And number 13, because we know all numbers are lucky, say no sometimes. And say no to others. And number 14 is say yes to yourself.
And in saying no, once I learned to do that, it wasn't as bad. The effect of my saying no wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Because I said no, but they went on somewhere else and got it done.
Now that's true. You'd be surprised. Rose said more broccoli. Girl, Rose, if you eat any more broccoli, girl, because when we was at the house in Tomball, that girl was firing up broccoli left and right. You hear me? I said, girl, you're going to turn into a green cauliflower-like substance named broccoli. But you're right, Verlene. Even though I did feel bad, you'll find that people will go somewhere else and get their needs met. They're not as dependent upon you as you think they are.
Yeah, I was the easier one to get the yes from. I was
exactly
the easier one to take off and go do. Right? That's what you mean? Okay, yeah. And I was like, okay. I said no, and things didn't fall apart. I'm like, well. And then
so sometimes I think that we do it because it makes us feel good, though.
Yeah.
And let me tell you another reason we do it, and then we'll close out. Now let Stephanie close out. We do it because if I'm busy doing for you, I ain't got to do for myself. See, for me, it's an excuse. Oh, I'm so busy taking care of my clients that I can't go walking, and I can't do this. And if I break a wave, if I take time off, it's gonna all fall apart. Nah, I gotta get up off my ass, buddy. I want to live to 110. That's my goal. So in living to 110, with all my faculties, physical and mental, I don't want to be, well, I'm already crazy as hell. So past that part. But spiritually and physically and mentally, I want to be together. So that means I got to make some different choices now.
Yeah, I see Miss Diane says she's lost 74 pounds. And Miss Diane, I've lost 67 since February. And I'm glad about it.
And I can see it.
I'm glad about it. Thank
I
you.
can't wait till I take up less of the screen. Okay. And I'm about to do it. I got to my birthday, y'all. And if you're not careful and you don't stay committed and you don't take some action, you will look up. It's about to be August. So August, September, October, November, December, 5 months left in this year. You will look up and it will be December and you ain't changed a damn thing. I'm speaking to me. I'm talking to me, not talking to you. It's many times I said I was going to do this and do this and do this and that. And I cannot keep making these business goals and not make these personal goals. I cannot. So the same way I'm committed to building 8 figures next year, I'm committed to having a figure 8 next year. And it ain't got to be no little bitty 8. It could be a big old 8, but it just got to have a figure to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the blob. And it takes daily focus, daily encouragement. So I'm going to get our journal done. That'll be a great gift for people that join one during Women's Health Wednesday night. Because you got to write stuff down. You got to have goals. I'm going to put in there where we can track our water. I'm going to put in there where we can track our vegetables, our fruits, our beans, our activities.
That sounds wonderful.
There ain't nothing to it but to do it.
But to do it, right. And
Wait on
sometimes-
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Eureka. The other thing you just reminded me was the water. So I've drank more water than I've ever drank before in my life in the past year because I have a canteen. Like when I drink water, I like my water really cold, or I really won't just drink water like that. So I carry everywhere with me a canteen with ice, and I carry my bottles of water, and I drink more water. I hardly ever drink sodas and others drinks, but I drink more water. And what I've noticed is that because of the water I drink, like even if you have diabetes and all those different things going on, when you increase your water intake, it seems to just wash a lot of that stuff away. Like it really, really
It works.
works. The swelling that comes up in your legs, your feet, or whatever. Drink more water. However you like your water, get you a canteen. Go to Sonic, get some Sonic ice or whoever ice, Chick-fil-A ice, whatever ice you like, because I eat my ice too. But drink more water. So it's good to get something to put it in, to carry it with you everywhere you go, and it'll be just the way you like it, and you'll drink more water.
And that's true, Eureka. I drink so much water. 3 cases of water lasts me maybe a week. I drink water all day. I love it. It just became habit, and I just drink it. And then, for real, as they say, if you have something, I want something to drink, I want something to drink. Nothing quenches your thirst than a good bottle of water. Nothing. Even my Dr. Peppers that I was on hard, and that McDonald's cup of crack, I called it the sweet tea. Still, nothing quenches that thirst like water. Just try it. You'll long for it.
This is good, ladies. I thank you so much for being my personal development, being a part of the commitment to being here. You know, it's odd if we'd have told people we're going to show you tonight how to make millions of dollars, people would have been in the rafters, rolling over the rafters. But we got to realize we got something just as valuable as revenue in terms of our health. So I this is going to help me reset. And then next time we come, guys, and we're looking for a sponsor. Thank you, Ms. Berlin, for being our sponsor tonight. We'll definitely send that out when we send the email recap But guys, come back next week after next, with your wins so that we can celebrate you, so that we can know what was hard, what was easy, share more best practices. We have to help each other out. This is a journey towards excellence for everyone. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. Don't forget, we have the Startup Capital Boot Camp starting in just a few minutes. So make sure you tune in to the live stream, and we will see you guys shortly.